Today I'm going to show you how I crocheted this halter top. It is solid on the bottom and then has a different design on the top, as you can see. I would say that this project is for intermediate crocheters. However, if you're a beginner and you would love to learn how to crochet, I have a Crocheting for Beginners video that I will link down in the description box below. Also, if you're interested in purchasing this top, I have an online store that I will also link in the description box below. I have not only this top, but many others. And I would really appreciate your support if you decide to purchase a crochet top off of my online store. Now let's get on with the tutorial. For this project, I'm using 100% acrylic yarn from the brand Impeccable, but you can use whichever yarn that you'd like. I am also using a 5mm hook. First step is to grab your yarn and create a slip knot at the end, and then chain a chain that's long enough to go from one side of your ribs to the other side, which is very hard to explain, so I'm just going to show you. When you wrap your chain around, it should cover from this point all the way around to this point. So that's how long your chain needs to be. So after you've completed a chain that's long enough to wrap around your torso, then you are going to go back on that chain using a single crochet. A single crochet, just as a reminder, is putting your hook through a stitch, then wrapping your yarn around the hook, pulling it back through the stitch, wrapping your yarn around the hook again, and then pulling it through the last two loops. So you're going to single crochet all the way down your chain, and once you reach the end, you're going to chain one, flip it over, and then single crochet back on the row. But you're only going to do that for a couple of rows because you don't want it to be a square shape, and chaining one at the end makes it a square shape more than a halter shape, and you want it to go in, aka you want the halter shape. So you're going to be changing something that you do at the end of each row after about 4 rows. So I did about 4 rows of this, and now I am going to not chain one anymore, flip it over, go into that first stitch, then skip over the next one. Just go into that third stitch, and then single crochet, and that's just going to pull it in and create that halter shape. You can't really see it right now, but in a few rows, you'll totally see it. So every time you reach the end, finish it off, don't chain one, and then go into that first stitch, just single crochet, and then skip over that second stitch and go into that third stitch, and then just go along single crocheting into the end, and then you flip it over and you do the exact same thing. I've only done a couple rows of this, and you could already see that it's starting to pull in and create that halter shape. So just continue with this pattern over and over again until you've created enough rows to cover from about right here, unless of course you want it longer, to up here, and the number of rows varies depending on your body type. So just put it against yourself and see how it fits, and then you decide when you've created enough rows. And once you're satisfied with your coverage, now it is time to move on to the cute design at the top, which is a triple crochet, or sometimes people call it a treble crochet. And if you don't know how to do that, that is fine. I will show you. You wrap your yarn around the hook, and then you go into the stitch, you wrap your yarn around the hook again, go back through the stitch, then you wrap your yarn again, go through the very first loop, wrap it again, go through 2 loops, wrap it yet again, and then go through the last 2 loops. Okay, now you know how to do a treble or triple crochet. So when you flip it over, you're just going to do a single crochet with no chain one. Then you're going to skip 2 stitches this time and create your triple crochet into that third stitch, even though I think it's the 4th stitch from the end. And after you've created your first triple crochet, then you're going to start skipping just 1 stitch right there, and then create another triple crochet. So the pattern for this first row of triple crochet is you skip 2 stitches on the very first one, and then every triple crochet after that you skip only 1 stitch in between. But again, this is only for the very first row of triple crochet, because every row After that, you're going to do something different. Okay, so I'm at the end. I'm going to skip one stitch and then create a triple crochet. Well, mess up first and then create a triple crochet. Which reminds me, crocheting takes a lot of patience and practice. So it's okay if you can't do it on your first time, your second time, or even like your 27th time, because it takes hard work and practice. Okay, at the end, the very last triple crochet, you chain one, and then you create a triple crochet into the very first stitch. Skip that second triple crochet and then go into that third triple crochet and create triple crochets on top of triple crochets. Sorry, that's confusing. But anyway, you're just going to do the same thing. You're just going to skip over that second stitch so you can maintain that halter shape and then not skip any more in between. So instead of creating single crochets with this pattern, you're doing the exact same thing you did for the bottom half of this top, just with triple crochets. So once you reach the point where you put it against yourself and the top reaches your collarbones, then that means you are finished, and what you need to do now is finish off the last row, and then from that point right here, you're going to create your strap. And the strap depends on how long you want it. It's just a very long chain or a very short chain. My straps are normally about 70 chains long, but of course you can do more or less. It's your preference. And once you reach the end of your chain, you're just going to cut off the yarn from the yarn ball and then bring that excess yarn through the last loop and give it a tug. And to attach your second strap, you go to where you want it to be and you pull the yarn through that stitch. You grab both the excess yarn and the yarn attached to the yarn ball and you bring it through the loop that you just made, and then you just chain from there. And after you finish your two neck straps, it is time to move on to your back straps. So just go ahead and decide which is going to be the front side of your top and which is going to be the back side. And once you decided, go to the back side of your top, figure out which stitch you want your strap to go through. Stick your hook in, bring your yarn through as if you're going to make a chain, and then grab the yarn attached to the yarn ball as well as the excess yarn that you have and bring it through the loop that you just made, and then just chain from there. I normally have a chain of probably 85. I'm actually not really sure, but I know that I like to have a lot of extra room just in case. Just in case of what? I don't know, but I just like having extra strap room. So again, it depends on how long you want your strap to be. Just make sure that you chain enough chains so that both your straps could wrap together and tie a knot. Because if the straps are too short, then you won't be able to tie it together, or it'll be very hard to tie it together because they barely touch each other. So that's why I like to make my chains extra long. So once you finish your first back strap, just do the exact same thing on the other side. Make sure that they're relatively even, and you are done. Now all you have to do is figure out how you're going to style this. I style mine with black high-waisted shorts. But there are so many different options on how to style a crochet top. That's why I love them so much, especially during the summer. You can wear it with jeans on slightly chillier days, shorts, skirts, long skirts, or even under some loose shirts or tanks as an extra design. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click that red subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up for the love of crochet. And if you would like more crochet tutorials, I'll see you next time. Bye!